I always thought Fort Smith had a cool vision for something unique and something that was for sure higher end. I always had the vision of being the guy that had the best items, and that's what took, we started in 2015, and we're kind of that hidden gem for many, many years until we got out on social media. And so that was when it really opened the door to like, wow, what can we do? One of my friends said, hey, you should open a pawn shop. And I go, hey, that's probably a great idea. And I think I did it. Like, that was kind of one of those funny moments where you're like, I think I could. I guess one thing I've realized as of lately is I guess I would categorize myself as a dreamer. I had, and still do, have wild dreams. And the neat thing there is mine have always involved Fort Smith. That's where I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to the Discover Fort Smith podcast. In this podcast, we're talking with people in and around the city of Fort Smith, hearing their stories, hearing about why they love Fort Smith, and we're also getting to hear why people should want to visit here, or maybe you're a resident of Fort Smith. Why do you want to stick around? Why do you want to stay? What are some things you may need to rediscover? So we're super excited to get into this conversation. My name's Josh Bufink. I'm with the city of Fort Smith. Sitting next to me is Joe Klein, and he's representing the CVB, which is Discover Fort Smith. Also the name of this podcast, coincidentally. And today we are in the Fort Smith Little Theater. If you've never been in the Fort Smith Little Theater, it's an amazing space. They have shows all year long. It's fslt.org if you want to find out what shows are coming up. Maybe you want to get some tickets for yourself. They're super affordable. The set behind me is actually not complete yet. They're in the middle of completing this set. So come check it out. You're going to not want to miss a show at Fort Smith Little Theater. So we're very thankful for them. But today on the show, we have Nick Maestri. Thank you for being on, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
And
Josh,
you're with
Joe.
Superior Pawn and Jewelry, right?
We're Superior Pawn and Jewelry right here in Fort Smith.
So what would you call yourself? What's your title? Grand Visionary?
For years I said I was the owner-operator, and anymore, obviously most people see us online on our social media presence. So that's kind of a neat transition that I've gone into, and it's been very enjoyable for us to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. Sorry, Joe.
No, you're good. I'm just going to start off with a funny question for you.
Joe's already got the jokes.
Okay, what makes you not a pawn shop? Because you know what I mean by that, but when you explain, it makes sense.
I have seen your videos, and I'm like, that doesn't necessarily look like a pawn shop to me. You know what I mean? But
there's not another one that we look like. And what I've tried to explain to people, I was raised in the Pawn Stars and Gold Rush era of TV. That was when we were seeing those Vegas Pawn Stars and things like that. We were seeing pickers, and it was all the TV, and we all watched it, every one of us. And I always thought Fort Smith had a cool vision for something unique and something that was for sure higher end. When I first got into this market, we were for sure more of your typical pawn shop. I'd take the lawnmower or the DVDs, but from there, I always had the vision of being the guy that had the best items, and that's what took. We started in 2015, and we're kind of that hidden gem for many, many years until we got out on social media. And so that was when it really opened the door to like, wow, what can we do? So it's been a lot of fun.
Let's take it all the way back. So this is what you do now, and for people who haven't seen, they maybe seen it or they're going to look it up right now, make sure you come back and continue listening to this show right after you do that. What started it for you, and what were you doing before, like you started Superior, and then how did you transition into this?
So I was the prime definition of live, work, play. Before they were really talking about live, work, play in Fort Smith, I was doing it. I had a little condo downtown. Back then, it was the Town Club. And it's Prima today. And I had a balcony that overlooked it, and I worked at Papa's. And I walked to work every day, and I enjoyed it. I remember there was like a year, I don't even know that I drove my car. I didn't need it because everything you needed was right in downtown Fort Smith. And that was where I really started loving it and growing some roots for it and really seeing it. I was always into music, and I was always into the fun scenes. And Fort Smith's always had that. We've always brought the best, you know? And so being able to live, work, play really helped mold me into it today. As of Superior, that was almost a funny idea that one of my friends said, hey, you should open a pawn shop. And I go, hey, that's probably a great idea. And I think I did it. Like, obviously, I guess I did. No joke. That was kind of one of those funny moments where you're like, you know, I think I could. And so, you know, right place, right time. But I guess one thing I've realized as of lately is I guess I would categorize myself as a dreamer. I had and still do have wild dreams. And the neat thing there is mine have always involved Fort Smith. That's where I've always wanted to be.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was born and raised here. You know, I love the people that you guys get to have on, that you get to introduce, and you know, we get to meet new people that aren't from. I call them the transplants. I love our transplants because they always come in and work hard. But I was born and raised here, and I had opportunities to leave at times, but I always wanted to stay. And I'm so proud that I did now. As I got into my adult life, I got to travel a little bit, see the world, and that was very eye-opening for me. But one of the proudest things I always said is I was happy to come home to Fort Smith.
Why is that? Why is it?
It's different here. The people, the community, all of it, it really is. Like, people are friendlier here. They really are.
They are.
Like, you see a lot of negative these days on the internet, but don't believe all of it. Like, Fort Smith's one of the friendliest places I've ever seen.
There's this influencer who's going all across America right now.
Oh, Jace?
Is it Jace? I'm sure you've seen him.
I saw everybody talking about him.
He's like from a different country or something, right?
Yep.
And like he's in Arkansas. He just spent like the last, I think it was a whole month in Arkansas.
I think so too.
And that was like the main thing he was talking about. It's like, no, people say hospitality and they say, oh, you're friendly, but like I've never been anywhere else in the world. And it's like this, like people are having conversations with me and they don't know me. And you should go look up his shorts because like from an outside perspective with someone who has experienced as much as he has, to see him saying that and then you're saying it and everyone who comes on the show says it is true.
It's one of the most beautiful places and one of the most friendliest places I've ever been. It really is.
And then the cost of living's low as well. You can't beat it.
When I first started traveling, people would be like, hey, how are y'all getting to do this? I'm like, we live in Arkansas. And they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, we have the best cost of living in America. We're able to go and do, you're not just sitting in the city and spending every dollar and not getting to leave. I've always felt like Fort Smith, by being able to live here and work here and invest here, it also gave me an opportunity to play and be able to go to at the same time.
Whenever I have obviously followed a lot of your social media stuff. It's incredible, and we're going to get into talking a little bit about that. But, you know, you'd mentioned that you kind of had this dream to start a pawn shop. It just kind of came to you. You and a friend were talking about it, and then you actually made it happen. Well, you know, for somebody like me, that seems like an insurmountable thing. Like, how do I have a dream and then actually make it happen? So maybe walk through what that would look like for somebody that has a dream. How do you go from dream to reality? Like, I'm sure there were some obstacles you had to overcome along the way. It wasn't always easy. Like,
you have to fail a few times for sure along the way. You have to wake up and not know that it's going to be able to succeed. And the cool thing is that's not even just the pawn shop or anything there. You know, we've evolved almost to more of a jewelry store today, which is a neat story. But I'm very infatuated with business too. As a young business owner, I don't believe there were many places I could have gone to be able to be successful like this, unlike Fort Smith. Fort Smith believed in us and made it even possible to be able to do this. So I believe that had a lot to do with whatever success, you know? So it's really, if I have any advice to anybody out there is, you know, get out there and jump and try, and especially in this area, because most people around here are pretty inviting, and most people are excited to support, and, you know, especially any of the front end things, you know, that's the neat thing. One of the challenges we had along the ways of being in business for a little bit, but transitioning over the years, was showing people we existed. When we were just the normal old Joe, we didn't exist. It was when we changed and we were different that we were able to really put it out there.
So what sets you apart? What makes you that different that makes people want to come and check you out?
We're a luxury store.
Okay.
You find things in our store that you won't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a no junk policy. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but what I realized really quickly for the Fort Smith and surrounding area, because we've now had a lot of people traveling in, is they were hungry for high-end items, high-end luxury items, authentic goods. And the number one thing that we had to build was the trust and the relationship there with everyone, because the trust is the hardest thing to build. And, you know, our whole industry is built off of that.
Yeah.
When you shop with us, you know that what you're buying is authentic and the real deal, and we'll stand behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool that my vision was to, I wasn't around those things growing up. I just thought like a Rolex watch was cool. Like my grandpa didn't even have one. You know, my dad never had one.
Yeah.
Like I just thought they were cool.
Yeah.
So whenever I was really getting into my 20s and doing things like that, it was kind of a neat thing. And then being able to bring items like that into the area is one of the coolest things we've ever done.
Yeah.
So you build this business from a dream, and then you open the store. You have some failures, you have some wins, and then you transition, and you're like, okay, I'm luxury. What's a moment from that time that marked when you thought, okay, maybe I'm doing the right thing? What's a customer? Someone came in, they bought, they sold. You had an interaction, and you thought, okay, you know, maybe this was all for the right, like this was all for something.
Yeah.
It was some relationships I built along the way. One of the biggest losses we've ever had in the Fort Smith area was with Newton Jewelers. And a lot of people look at business as competition. I always looked at it different. I wanted everyone around me to win. And right before they were going out of business, there were times where, you know, I was able to help them, or they were able to help me, or we worked together. So it was always hard to see things like that go. But, you know, being able to build that bond in this area and work with some of those people was amazing. And the relationships that we built in that time, that changed everything for us there. The jewelry business is different than anything you've ever seen. And getting into that high-end business, it's all built on trust and things. So it's there were some very influential people along the way that, you know, looking at it now, they were huge help.
Yeah.
They believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yeah.
Like they used to, I remember being called the kid or any of that, but like as you get older and you can open your eyes, you realize that some of those people that you were just standing next to believed in you more than anyone around you.
Yeah.
And they were right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And that was really neat for me. And some of those people know exactly who they are.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, hopefully they're listening.
I think so.
Yeah, good.
They text me often that they're proud of me now. It's very
good.
eye-opening.
That's awesome.
Nick, I've gotten to know you a little bit over the past, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. And you've been talking about jewelry a lot, but I know that you have a lot to do with more than just jewelry. You have some little stuff. You have a lot of stuff in the shop that is not for sale. A lot of stuff.
Like what?
Oh, he'll tell you. He's about to tell you right now.
I bleed Fort Smith.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm working to acquire one of the coolest Fort Smith collections that's not in a museum that anybody's ever seen.
Oh, come on, tell me. You just, that was just like a little teaser.
I have some prized possessions, and they all have a story.
Yeah.
I have the Army surplus sign that hung on Garrison.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Neon Harry sign. I have some scales that were serial number 1 that were Fort Smith, all labeled Fort Smith. There's a Howe Drugstore clock that Howe Drugstore was in the early teens. And the reason they're even notarized is because Bonnie and Clyde were sighted in, or they were seen in Howe Drugstore.
Yeah.
So Fort Smith holds so much history as we all know.
Oh, yeah.
But music's also been a huge thing through Fort Smith. There's been more musicians through Fort Smith. And most people don't realize some of the big names that have come through here, but my collection is also guitars and things. But it was truly things when I first got into the store and started Superior. Once again, this was a dream. I didn't think we could ever do it. Or I do, I guess I don't want to sound there, but like none of that was put together overnight. And then now people have seen like those are items I would never sell. Like they're not for sale. I've been offered huge money, and I've no. That's not why I bought them.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really neat. my next chapter and my biggest dreams is now to make the destination location for people to come to and just say, wow, I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're going that way.
I'm on board. That's great.
I want, that's the newest goal and dream, is to truly try and build something as close to Pawn Stars or something similar that, hey, come here.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to. And then not only when you get here, I'm proud to send them to my friends or go check out this place or go check out that place because we have so much to offer.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is happening through your social media influence, right? I've seen your videos a lot. That's one of the reasons I wanted to reach out, because I saw your videos. You guys are constantly doing like giveaways and all kinds of cool stuff. So what's your theory behind the social media stuff? What made you decide, okay, as a pawn shop, I personally don't see a lot of pawn shops on social media a lot. So what made you think, okay, here's what we're going to do. This is the way we're going to drive business. This is how we're going to get people to come to Fort Smith.
Unfortunately, in my industry, pawn shops carry a bad name.
Yeah.
We're not all bad, though.
Yeah.
And I promise you, most of us aren't.
Yeah.
And I mean that. And it's unfortunate to see an industry that does get a little bit of a bad rap. And I'm a positive guy. Like, I hate to even talk about the bad.
Yeah.
But I guess part of my reasoning for really wanting to put more out there was to show people like, hey, there's a lot more to this. And there is some good.
Yeah.
Now you talk about the social media. I have to give credit to social media. Whenever we consistently started doing social media, our business caught a huge gains.
Yeah.
We for sure saw more foot traffic. We for sure saw things, which at that time gave me the opportunities to get back.
Yeah.
There were times we couldn't.
Yeah.
As a small business owner, I promise you there were times along the way that I wanted to say yes, and I just couldn't. It's hard as your growth. But once we were able to grow and catch a stride and be able to really see it, it was amazing when we first started doing social media videos. Like, you'd go home and your own wife would make fun of you. Like, you look like a goofball. I'm like, thanks. And like, you catch a little stride or whatever. But whenever people started saying, hey, we saw you, or you started getting some views, the business changed.
Yeah.
Like, I think this year we'll see 5 times the traffic we saw last year. And it's because of the videos. And, depending on how far you want to get into it, Larry deserves some credit there.
Yeah.
If you want me to talk about it, I'll tell you.
I would love to hear about Larry.
You always have this
Larry's
guy
here
walking around with you. He has a camera in his hands. He usually has long hair. Tell me about this guy.
So
he's doing the documentary. It's going to come out.
I want to start at the beginning. And Joey's worked for me for a long time, and I call him kind of my gatekeeper at times. And I remember being on the phone in the corner and Joey coming up and saying, hey, this kid has this Google thing and you should talk to him. And I'm like, no, not right now, Joey.
Yeah.
And Joey looks at me and goes, Nick, you should talk to this kid. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I sat and I looked at him and I was confused. And he was basically selling me this Google Maps thing for the store.
Yeah.
And I said, sure, man, let's go. He was too cheap too, just for the record.
Yeah.
Like, it was affordable. So that was kind of neat. And so I said yes.
Yeah.
And one of the neatest things that happened is a couple days later, he was done and he showed it to us. And I was like, wow.
This is awesome. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, I go, so what else can you do? That's what I said. I was like, so what else can you do? You can't do something that cool and not do something else. And he goes, I kind of like shooting videos. I'm like, what kind of videos? He goes, I want to shoot rap videos. I'm like, well, I can't give you those. I'm not going to rap.
You're not a rapper?
I'm not a rapper. Turns out he is. You can see him Saturday night.
Cool.
But no, I go, man, I have this idea. It'd been in my head for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted. I wasn't ready personally yet. I knew I had to do a couple things to get there, and it took 2 years.
Yeah.
And so we started shooting. And then it was a few days a week, which turned into full time. And we rolled into Peacemaker. And I said, man, let's just see if they'll shoot with us. Let's go ask the artist.
Yeah.
And it was just me and a guy with a camera.
Yeah.
And they let us talk to him. And so we got to shoot with artists like Sam Barber, Waylon Wyatt, all these guys at Peacemaker. None of them said no. And them Dirty Roses gave us a tour of the bus. And I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is neat. So We rolled it into the store, and now it was kind of wild. We just keep giving them more. The people keep asking for more, and we're just going to keep giving it because I didn't think people would want to watch us. Turns out they do, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's a proud moment for the team we've built and doing this. But back on Larry, I mean, one of the neatest things is he's just been my sidekick since.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys churn out content, like a lot of content, and very quickly. Yeah. So what's your philosophy there?
You have to be a shredder.
Okay.
You have to be what I call a shredder, meaning like almost live. And you don't have to. There's obviously successful people that do it otherwise. Right. But the reason I had to do it in our moment is because the items I'm working with are one of a kind.
Yeah.
That Rolex watch I have in there, that big diamond ring, that bracelet that we're working with, the unique handbag, that Hermes bag we just got in. There's only one. And whenever I was first starting this, by the time the content even got out on the internet, the item was gone. And now I wanted to be able to show basically a live view of what's coming in every single day.
Yeah.
And we were the only ones trying to do it at the time and it's hard.
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, but being able to shred that content out every single day it's pretty neat.
That is awesome.
You get to a point where like you're running into people at the grocery store and they say they watch you every night and things. Yeah. And I never, ever, ever thought that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of wanted people to see what we were doing because I thought it was cool.
Well, and not only are you like an advocate for your store, which obviously, but you're a real big advocate for the community at large. And I've seen that all over the place. You know, you showing up different places, making sure other people get the spotlight too. And so I just wanted to know, you know, what's your why behind that? Why do you do that? Because you don't have to. You could just spend all your time focusing on Superior if you wanted.
You want to know why I hadn't done very many podcasts?
Why?
I hate talking about myself.
Okay.
And so to spin into that.
Yeah.
It wasn't always about me. I have a belief if everyone around me is winning, we'll win too.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Yeah.
Like, yes, most of the places I, shout out or any of that are local and we've all become friends. But I have that attitude of wanting my community to win and wanting everybody around us to. And, we go get some great service and enjoy a meal. Like, I want to tell other people about that. But when I started giving back and taking me out of it, that was the best feeling in the world. Like, when I first started giving, I didn't even want anybody to know.
Yeah.
No different. One of my favorite things to do on Christmas Day is I roll in the Waffle House and I get my coffee and my waffle and I leave $100 tip.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
Y'all are the first people I've ever told.
Yeah.
Like it was never about that.
Yeah.
It was just more of like, I did a lot of giving in silence. Now the fun part is being able to give back and, almost encourage.
Yeah.
Like I want to show people there's a lot of good going on right now.
Yeah.
Social media shows a lot of bad.
Yeah.
Luckily with us and the people we're all running around with and, we're showing people the right sides and the good side. And I promise there's some amazing things out there. It's the best feeling in the world. It really is. It really is. But something you talked about too, the reason we are showcasing it a little more is to try and put that snowball effect.
Yes.
If I can get myself and 10 of our friends to get this going in our area, we can't lose.
Yeah. And there is an unhealthy, and that's why I guess that's the fear that comes with, I don't want to tell anybody because you don't want to seem like that person who only gives to tell people that you gave. You definitely don't want that. But I think that the community that we have here in general is very, very, they have a hospitality mentality around them and a give back. There's a reason why we have over 1,000 nonprofits here in Fort Smith.
Yep.
There is a reason. But even outside of that, there's other areas where you can just give a little bit and it makes someone's day.
That's where we've been giving back. One of the more enjoyable things we've been seeing Nurses Week and Teachers Week and things like that. And one thing we've been able to do through Superior that's been really cool is doing things like that. Just going and delivering some pizzas from Geno's to the NICU nurses or going and, doing a little giveaway for a turtle box or something.
Yeah.
If I can just positively influence somebody's day, one person, I win.
Yeah.
And so one of the give back things for us that we've for sure been very fortunate through the store to be able to do that is that, and picking some of those smaller communities in our community. And it's been really, really, it's a nice touch. It feels good.
Yeah.
And I love seeing those people that are important to, getting a little bit of that.
Yeah. Now, I didn't preface our conversation a whole lot, so if you don't want to get this personal, that's fine. But one of the things that I noticed on your social media is you talk about sobriety a lot.
Sure.
And so I just want to know what that journey's been like, why you decided to make that journey. Because we live in a society that, people are trying to numb things and get out of things and feel kind of escape their life in a lot of ways. Sure. And so I just wanted to hear your perspective on it.
I lived a fun-filled lifestyle most of my life, and I loved it. I had a great time. I lived, worked, played, and I did all that. There were moments in my personal life, and I want to talk about it, where I just lost a little control. And especially with stresses in your life, with businesses or growth or things, failure, you do turn to things like alcohol and so unfortunately what I saw in my path was losing that control or almost embarrassing ourselves. It was unfortunate in the moment when I knew I couldn't just sit there and have a couple beers anymore. But I was able to admit that. And I hope that me getting to talk about it makes other people realize, like, hey, you're not a failure. You can do this too. But when I quit, I knew I had to do it to take back control of my life. Like I was losing control, and I was very fortunate. It was never a troublesome moment or anything there, but I've got a young daughter, and I love my wife, and things like that. And unfortunately, when you start doing things and losing control, it changes that.
Yeah.
I also knew and talked about, and this is kind of interesting, before I'd ever met Larry, I wanted to do something similar to exactly what we're talking about now. And I talked about it for years.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized in those years up and coming, I did personal growth. I was the shy fat kid. I lost weight before we did this because I was scared people were going to make fun of me.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't ready is what I would say.
Yeah.
And what I meant by that is I got another 10 pounds to lose. So kind of funny,
Yeah.
But that all came with that personal growth of, I knew I had to put down the bottle. I knew I needed to, if I was going to really get out in my community and try and be a role model, I needed to be a full role model.
Yeah.
I did not want to embarrass the people around me.
Yeah.
It's easy to do sometimes. We can have one too many drinks,
Yeah.
So when I was able to really, and I failed a couple times just for the record. Like I want to talk about that to some people too. You're going to fail. I tried to quit 2 or 3 times the year before.
Yeah.
I saw what was evolving.
Yeah.
And I realized it wasn't the person I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And so, and this is now 3 years ago. So just for these people that think it doesn't happen overnight, I just want to give a little hope there. But I failed 2 or 3 times. Like I tried to quit, didn't, or failed, When I finally realized I had it, it was a life-changing moment for me.
Yeah.
I'm about to roll up on 2 years. I hadn't had a drink.
Wow.
In the next couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
And it feels good.
Yeah.
Now with that, like, I'm not telling everybody they can't or shouldn't. Yeah. Like, it was just a better choice for me. And then the neat thing is like, I had a lot of support from my wife and some of our close friends, but then you also are worried about those friends that may think the support system you gain from that, it's a neat feeling. I want to be able to really, really make an influential impact in our area.
Yeah.
With a clear mind and a clear head and just really do it.
Yeah.
Have you had the opportunity to have a 360 experience of you directly talking about this on social media yet, where someone has directly from social media, someone's come up to you and said, hey, I saw this and it made me feel this way? And if you haven't, that's okay, because I'm sure it's about to happen now. But I wanted to.
I have, when I knew I was making a solid impact, I've met musicians over the years, famous people. I had some locals that reached out, some friends, and I for sure had people come in the store and say, hey, I quit because quit around the time you did. But when there was a night that one of my friends texted me, and he's big time. He was a musician and just asked how.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ran into him. I was on the road. We were in Denver heading to Red Rocks for Zach Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
And we just happened to catch a show, and it was neat for them to talk about it. And at that moment, I realized I needed to talk about it more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't realize I'd even touched one person, and turned out it was multiples.
Mm-hmm.
And so the text messages, look at them how you want, maybe people asking for help or advice or everything there, were really driving to keep going, because they're relying on me too.
Yeah.
I have to show them I can do this too.
Yeah.
And so it was really neat for them to almost push me harder there. But to have an impact or feel like I've impacted there, it's a wild feeling.
Yeah.
It really is.
Thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'm at an interesting point in my life that I feel good.
Yeah.
And I had dark moments. I want people to know that. Y'all are all about spreading positive. So we're only going to touch this for a second. But you have dark moments in life, and life's not easy. And I want people to know there's hope for them. And I want you to know that there's meaning there. And no matter, what it takes to find it, you can do it, and believe in yourself. Because there were times I was down on myself, and I truly, the best thing I have people right now believing in me, but I also believe in myself. When you get that level head, you can believe in yourself again.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wanted to just say something on the end of that, and then we'll transition a little bit. But I know there are people who are probably listening to this now who are going through stuff in their life, and I just want to let you know that Fort Smith is a loving community. It is all the things we actually talk about on this show. You don't have to feel embarrassed that you are in this situation. There are people there who want to help you, who want to talk to you through it. And if you don't know where to go, just ask. Those people are around. There will be no shame. I mean, honestly, knowing all the people that I know here in Fort Smith, I can't even see someone reacting to someone in a shameful way or making them feel bad. They want to be there and support you. And so you don't have to do that alone, or you don't have to act fake. You can talk to someone about it.
And I thank you for that, because it's 100% the truth. And, it might not always be easy to reach out to one of us, but even just reaching out to your friends, your family, just being more open, especially men in the world today.
Yeah.
Guys, you can talk to us, And so, but yeah, I mean, but I will say Fort Smith made it possible.
Yeah.
It would be much harder to do in other places. And because of the generosity of Fort Smith and the people of Fort Smith and the real community here, that's what keeps helping me succeed day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to shift gears.
Hard left.
Hard left.
And we're going to talk a little bit about some of your favorite places in town.
But let me preference it. Let me build it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Larry, can I have that Red Bull? I got to switch gears.
Okay. So as Larry comes, you can see him on the screen.
Hold on, real quick. Come say hi.
All right, yeah. This is Larry.
This is Larry. Larry. We don't need this anymore.
Okay, so Nick, out of everyone
man.
here in Fort Smith, Nick gets around Fort Smith probably more than anyone, from all the way from traffic crossing all the way downtown. I can't tell you how many spots he's recommended to me that I've taken Lauren on date nights and stuff. He's like, just tell him I sent you, they'll get you. And I did get a reservation that night because I name dropped Nick.
That's awesome.
But so you have a diverse look at Fort Smith because you've been everywhere. What spots do you keep going back to? It can be I don't care. It can be a park. It could be this place where you go listen to music, go eat steak. What other things?
Oh, I love Fort Smith, and you can't just stick it with one. I kind of thought about this for a minute and really reminded myself the best thing Fort Smith has is food.
Yeah.
We have the best food.
Yeah.
I love Asian food.
Okay.
I love me some Thai curry. And then I kind of got on my feels thinking about some of the old schools. Like this is for any of the old school Fort Smith, China Jade or any of those, you don't see anymore, but unfortunately, but if you're going for that best steak, you'll find me on the Doe's patio.
Yeah.
And I joke sometimes because I think that's one of Fort Smith's most hidden gems is the Doe's patio.
I'm telling you, he told me that. And I was like, whatever. You remember this? I called you.
Yes.
I was like, where to go? And he told me, it's like, yeah, it's one of the best spots, hands down. You should go there. And it's kid friendly. Go to the patio, best steak. And I was like, whatever. I've had a lot of steak. I've had $200 steaks in Dallas. I went there. Still the best steak I've ever had.
It's so good.
Still the best steak I've ever had. For a good price, too.
And you nailed it with family friendly. A lot of people think, hey, it's only this place. And most of the time, Tiffany and I share a steak. Like, get in there and order the chicken strips and share you a steak and let your kids run around that patio. It's a great time. But, from there, my daughter Parker loves Low Air to Garrison. The patio down there, how do you beat it? And they're, once again, kid-friendly, running around. And then one of the old school ones that's for sure in our Rolodex of just normal is Parker calls it Fire and Fishies, but Shoguns over there on Rogers. We're old school Shoguns, get the fire going, a little bit of this. But countless places. You start talking about Chappie and you start talking about Blue Point and things like that.
You're there a lot. I see your truck over there. If you don't know where Nick, if you want to know where Nick is, just look for his truck.
Look for my truck.
Blue Point.
I love staying busy. I don't know how to not.
Yeah.
But that's the neat thing about here is you get to see so much in like a good area.
Yeah.
And there's so many things to do right here around, from beautiful outdoors to right in the middle of downtown life. So
I know this is like the Discover Fort Smith podcast, but this actually is a benefit that a lot of people don't think about because it's beneficial to the city. But you actually do a lot outside. You have a lot of fun outside of Fort Smith because you drive down to like 10 Killer. We were talking about it before.
Oh, yeah.
So, but people don't think about it as being something that we will want to talk about, but it is good because your home's here, and someplace like that is just within reach. And you can really go any direction and have different experiences like that within 2 hours from Fort Smith.
It's like an hour and 15 minutes, right? Hour and
People
30?
have asked when we travel what we think about Fort Smith, and one of the number one things I ever said to them is we're right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm an hour from Northwest Arkansas. I'm 4 hours from Dallas. I'm an hour and a half from Tulsa, a few hours from Oklahoma City.
Yes.
I still always want to come home to Fort Smith.
Yeah.
I always want to come home to Fort Smith.
Yeah.
But for me to go to Lake 10 Killer and see our friends on the weekend and see the water is not a big deal. For our friends to go to Lake Washita or the Hot Springs for the racetrack, that's what makes Fort Smith what it is.
Super unique.
It's so unique to be able to anytime go any direction. And so one thing that I don't like seeing, especially around here, is somebody saying there's not anything to do.
Yeah.
You couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
And then I'll almost agree with you if you say, well, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. One thing Fort Smith has done, especially the last couple of years, that I couldn't be prouder of is the things that are either free or next to nothing. Very inexpensive, cost of a coffee.
Yeah.
So us being able to, and our friends, it's all of our friends and people we've met through the community, being able to put these on, most of them are volunteers. Most of them, like, I don't know I've ever seen another community that had as much volunteerism as we do in this town. Like, we're all happy to volunteer.
Just to back up a little bit about what you're talking about, there's nothing to do. So you can go to Levitt Amp for free. You can
I have to talk about Levitt Amp. Back up. The Levitt Amp series is starting, and y'all know I love music.
Yeah.
And I had to check before I even walked in here. September 11th is Levitt Amp's first show. It's a Friday night, and it's free.
Yeah.
No excuse. The park should be full. So Riverfront Amphitheater, Friday night, September 11th is the start of the Levitt Amp series.
Nice.
It is the number one thing we should be all doing right now.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, go ahead. I'll let you go back in.
Yeah.
Peacemaker's come up shortly after what he's about to
Peacemaker.
go into. Yeah.
And Fall Fest, it's all like right there,
and
man.
those are
it's a
all
busy
literally
fall.
free. Like you can just go do those. And then if you want to pay a little bit of money, you can come here and for about the price of a cup of coffee and like maybe a donut, you can watch a show here for $14.
Yeah.
You can go eat some like sushi. Like there's so much here.
Even Peacemaker this year's relatively inexpensive.
Peacemaker is $10 a day.
Yeah. That's
okay,
crazy.
so I want to circle back on Peacemaker. Can we talk a little bit about Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Peacemaker is where I learned how to even do some of the things I did.
Yeah.
Bill Newmeyer was my mentor. He's no longer with us. He was the owner of Rib Room, Papa's, all that. And before he passed, Bill nominated me to be on the board of directors for the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And that was my project for 6 or 8 years that was where I loved to volunteer. And it was on a board of directors of volunteers, and all of it went back to local charities. And that was one of the things I just absolutely loved.
Yeah.
But that molded it to where I am today.
Yeah.
I loved Peacemaker, met some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. But what people don't realize is like Ella Langley was here a few years ago and was at the bottom of the bill, like opening for everyone.
Right.
And she's the #1 artist right now.
Yeah.
Zach
Bryan was here.
Red Clay Strays.
Yeah. I mean, Cody Jinks.
I saw Jason
Sam
Isbell
Barber,
here.
Jason Isbell.
Yeah.
We can literally name off 100 and not even scratch the surface. So for Peacemaker to be able to do a $20 weekend ticket,
it's crazy.
If somebody doesn't have the money, you call me and I'll buy you a ticket.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm being serious because there's no excuse on that. Like, it's such a neat event, and to be able to bring that in our area with national acts, like this is a large production, and so I'm proud of those guys. When I retired a couple years ago from Peacemaker, I envisioned our social media. Yeah. And I knew I couldn't do both, unfortunately. And so it's neat for me now to take the social media and still show some love to Peacemaker and support it still like it. I mean, I love it to the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
So my Peacemaker group, I love you guys.
Yeah,
you know,
they're
an awesome group of individuals. So.
I do want to say, too, for those who are thinking, there's a lot of families and people think, Peacemaker, for what I've seen, it doesn't look family friendly. It definitely is. Like
100%.
Their video, when I went and captured it, not this past year, but the year before, like during the daytime, I can't tell you how many photos, videos I have of people sitting in that grass area with their kid. And, some of them were younger, so they just had earmuffs on them.
Sure.
It's no different than like going to the rodeo or, something like that. So you can have that experience and the parents had a drink and they're just hanging out, chilling.
It's awesome. Start downtown. They'll have food trucks and stuff if you want to eat there, but go hit one of the downtown restaurants on the way, mosey down as the sun goes down. It's right at the beginning of October. It's not going to be hot. Take you a blanket, take you a couple lawn chairs, and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
I promise there won't be a better place to be there.
Yeah.
But I do want to show some love to the little theater. I have some friends that have done this. And I'm going to make sure and go out of our way to be here too.
And it's $14 a ticket. It's not that expensive either.
And it's such an intimate setting in here.
Yeah.
So anybody that's never seen the Fort Smith Little Theater, please come check it out here, because this is awesome to be right here in the Fort Smith.
It is awesome.
And $20 for musicals. $14 for
that's right.
$20 for
20. Yeah,
like
great.
It.
All right, thank you so much for being on the show, Nick.
I appreciate you guys. I'd like to say that I've been a fan of you guys for years, and I appreciate what y'all are doing. What y'all are doing for the community and bringing to Fort Smith is amazing.
Yeah,
thank you for that. Like, keep grinding, keep doing it. Y'all are doing awesome work, and
thank you.
For you guys to even consider me as a guest it really just makes my day. Like, I can remember dreaming a year ago, starting to see y'all's videos and thinking how cool it would be to be on there. So to be sitting right here, right now, I just want you to know is a surreal moment. And this is going to be an awesome kickstart for my next chapter, because you've lit a fire for me to just keep going.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you, man. I've never had an outro like that. I feel encouraged today. Well, thank you again.
I appreciate you guys. Joe, Josh, y'all are awesome.